Okay, let's go in that way. Okay.
Hey guys, hope everybody's enjoying their time in isolation with their families by themselves, or maybe you have a large group of people. That's awesome. Today we have a super fun workout planned, and it is definitely one that we can modify a lot depending upon what you have available. So we'll go ahead and talk about the workout a little bit. I think this is probably going to show up backwards, it seems, but I'll read it and then we'll go over all the movements. So the first part of the MetCon is going to be something that you can definitely do outside. You probably don't want to do this inside unless maybe you're lucky and you have a treadmill. You could also do it with a rower for those of you who have watch out, for those of you who have borrowed the rowers. You could also do this with a rower, but essentially we're doing 6 rounds of a 200-meter uphill run. So you could also look at this as about 45 seconds of work. And then when you're heading back downhill, you can use that as an opportunity to rest. So 45 seconds of work, roughly 1 minute of rest, 6 rounds of that. Hopefully the weather is nice enough today that you can head outside, because that'll probably be the best place to do it. The second part of the workout is going to be 5 rounds of 20 alternating dumbbell snatches and 50 double unders. So with the alternating dumbbell snatches, for those of you who might have a barbell at home, we can do 14 power snatches with the barbell. If you have an odd object like a backpack or some sort of heavy something or other, you can use that as well if you'd like to, and you can do 15 round to overhead. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started on the warm-up. So first, let's get our heart rates up a little bit. I'll have you start off with 10 burpees. 10 burpees. Okay, we'll go ahead and come to the bottom of that squat position. Take your left hand to the right foot and reach that right arm up to the sky. And we'll switch sides. Take the right hand down to the left foot, reach the left arm up. One more time on each side. Switch. Then let's come to down dog. We have a ton of double unders in this workout today, so we definitely want to get our calves nice and warm. So we'll go ahead and start pedaling those feet out, trying to get the ankles or the heels down to the ground. A few more of these. And we'll drop to our bellies. Put your left arms in a goalpost position, so your arms are at a 90-degree angle. And we're gonna go ahead and roll over towards our right arm. You'll take your left hand under your left shoulder and press into the stretch. And we'll switch sides. Left hand in that goalpost position. Right hand comes under the right shoulder and roll over towards the left. All right, come to stand up and give me 15 air squats. All right, so let's go ahead and come back to that down dog position. This time we're gonna bring our left foot up towards that left hand. Left foot goes back, and then right foot goes forward. We're gonna switch again, really leaning into that left hip. You can push the knee out a little bit if you'd like to get open in that hip. Switch again. Push that knee out. And back hips go up high, back in that down dog position. Pedal those feet out a couple more times. And 5 more burpees.
Mommy,
Yeah, Lee.
I'm going to the couch.
All right, I'll get in a minute, okay? All right, now let's take that left hand, reach the left hand up toward the sky. You can grab your left hand with your right wrist. You can do this sitting down or standing up, whatever you prefer. Then we'll switch, grab the right wrist with the left hand. Then we'll come back up to stand. We'll bring our left knee up toward our chest. You want to think about bringing that knee to your armpit. So right knee comes towards that right armpit. Switch left knee towards left armpit. All right, I'll have you give me 10 of those, 5 on each leg, a little bit faster this time. All right, and then we'll do high knees for 15 seconds. And relax, shake those legs out. 10 more air squats. Right, and then come down, give me 5 push-ups. And press back into that down dog. Pedal out those feet one more time. They should be nice and warm. Come all the way down, and we'll press up into up facing dog.
A dog is like this.
Yeah, and then let's press back into child's pose, child's pose. All right, I think we are nice and warm. We'll go over the movements and then we will get into the workout. Okay, so the next part, we're gonna warm up a little bit for the actual workout, so go over the movements really quick. Since a lot of us don't have access to some equipment, I'm gonna go over some good modifications that you can use. So for the movements, for MetCon number 2, we have 20 alternating dumbbell snatches and 50 double unders. So for the alternating dumbbell snatches, like I talked about earlier, you could also do it with a barbell. If you have a barbell, we can do 14 power snatches. I don't have a barbell, but you could potentially use a broom or some sort of PVC pipe power snatching. So landing with those hips above the knees and standing up, 14 of those. Or you can do an odd object, which is gonna be 15 ground to overhead. So I do have a dumbbell, but I'll also show you a good modification with a bag or a backpack, loaded up with as much or as little weight as you feel comfortable. Hopefully something around, I think it was written down like 25 pounds, 20 pounds maybe. So for the alternating dumbbell snatch option, 15 ground to overhead with a bag would look something like starting on the ground. You can clean it and then press it up overhead if you want, or if you have crazy mobility and this isn't too challenging for you, you could bring it all the way up overhead and stand up. If you have maybe a longer object, I don't know if you're feeling wild and crazy and you have a cooler or something crazy like that, you could potentially do that just to work a little bit on that overhead mobility, but that's probably going to be just your limiting factor is that overhead position. So a backpack works just great if you don't have a dumbbell. If you do have a dumbbell, we're going to be doing alternating single arms. So you can alternate from many different positions. You can go snatch, bring it all the way back down, switch arms here. This is a great option. Power snatch, back down. Or if you'd like, you can bring it back down, switch here. Just make sure you go all the way back down to the ground. Switch here. Or if you'd like a third option, you can kind of switch it mid-air. Now, if this is something that you've been practicing for a while, this is a great opportunity to test yourself doing it, especially if you have maybe a lighter dumbbell. So snatching up overhead, when you're coming back down, you're gonna drop it into that other hand. So snatching up, as you're coming back down, drop it into your other hand. When you're doing the snatches that way, you wanna make sure you keep that momentum up. When you're dropping the dumbbell down into your next hand, just continue that momentum down, right back up overhead. All right, this workout is gonna be fairly taxing on your back if you're allowing yourself to round out that back when you're coming down. So make sure you're keeping that core nice and tight, hinging forward, and you should feel it in your hamstrings, standing up, pull with those hips, high elbows, dropping underneath, just like we practiced with the barbell and a snatch. Dumbbell snatches are great. This is also a great pregnancy modification as well, because you don't have to worry about coming in front of your body. Keep that dumbbell nice and close to your body, and it's the same if you're using a backpack. You don't want to swing the backpack out like that. You want to keep those elbows up nice and high and rotate and drop underneath. Standing up and then pressing up overhead is the same thing, all right? Okay guys, so we have 5 rounds, 20 alternating dumbbell snatches, 50 double unders. If you don't have your jump rope with you, you could also do hops over dumbbell or an object. You can also do switches with your feet. Might want to double those up. Or you can just do jump taps. All right, just to practice your double unders. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Crank up your music if you don't like mine, but I'm gonna work out here alongside you. So start the timer here in just a few seconds and I'll get the music going. Right there. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm like a cute face, chubby waist, 6 legs in shape, rump shaking both ways, make you do a double take. Like a showstopper, flow topper, head knocker, beat scholar, tail dropper, do my thing, motherfucker. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always baby, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights, out of sight. So evil. So in, make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, don't everybody here. Get your best, cause misdemeanor sense. Well, my name is that was my office. Tell us no one can do that shit, sing on acapella. Lose control, let it go, be much more rock to the beat to the fire. Pick up the sky, don't get quiet. Bring your hands, get loud. Smoke the fire. Down holler. If you tipsy, stand up. DJ turn it louder. Take somebody by the waist like ooh, and throw it in the face like ooh. Hypnotic, nobody can see you rockin' this. Take somebody by the waist like ooh, and throw it in the face like ooh. Systematic, ecstatic, this hit me automatic. Everybody here get it out of control. Cause misdemeanor said so. Everybody step, step, everybody step, step, everybody step, step, everybody step it loose. Music make you lose it. I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, doing better than anybody you ever seen. Do it, screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tipping, I'm tipping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose, motherfucker, we rollin'. Motherfucker, we roll. With some light-skinned girls and some heavy roads. And it's white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, cool world, I see you in the morning. I see you in the morning. This is way too much, I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tipping, I'm tipping off the power. Till then, fuck that, the world's ours. I'm missing it in the whole past. Telling me he said they can kiss my whole ass. More specifically, they can kiss my asshole. I'm an asshole, you niggas got guns. Somebody niggas tosses Napoleon. My clothes is mine golden. My ice is fucking doses. And everybody educated, sadistic up the egotistic. You know, he's so fucking gifted. I just need a time alone. With my own thoughts, got pleasures in my mind, but couldn't open up my own thought. I try like creativity, liberty, and honesty is honestly being guided by these grown thoughts. Reality is catching up with me, taking my inner child, I'm fighting for custody. With these responsibilities, they entrusted me. As I look down at my diamond encrusted piece, thinking no one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop chipping, I'm tipping off the powder. Till then, fuck that, the world's ours. Powers, Austin, powers. Lost in translation with a whole fucking nation. They say I was the abomination of Obama's nation. Well, that's a pretty bad way to start the conversation. At the end of the day, God damn it, I'm killing this shit. I know damn well that I'm feeling this shit. I don't need your pussy, bitch, I'm on my own dick. I ain't got a power trip, who you going home with? How you doing? I'm surviving. I was drinking earlier, now I'm driving. With a bad bitch, where you hiding? I got the power, make your life so exciting. Jumping out the window, letting everything go, letting everything go. You got the power, let that power go.
Awesome work, guys. If you have not finished the workout at this point in time, go ahead and pause the video until you finish the workout. Once you're all done, awesome work. Congratulations. I'm not used to working out while I'm coaching, so it's a little bit hard to breathe. So as many of you guys may know, we're quarantined to whatever our environment is currently right now. Not being able to go to the gym is hard. It's hard on a lot of us simply because that was our community. Those are our people. But it's been really awesome to continue to be able to interact with you guys via social media and house party and the fireside chats with Brian and Maria and all the other coaches putting in their support to rally around you guys and continue to hang out with you and be there for you like you've always been there for us. So we're really appreciative that you're still here, that you're still around, and we hope that all of this is over very soon and we can go back to our normal life of being able to do jump ropes with not somebody else's rope that's 10 times too long for you. So I'm just grateful that Brian and Marina have been able to continue to help us have platforms to coach you guys, as well as Daniel still providing the training, the modifications. For those of you who have been able to use barbells, hopefully you're continuing to utilize them and you're able to take full advantage of them. For those of you who don't really have much equipment to work with, I challenge you to do a little Googling, ask some questions, talk to some of the coaches. Maybe we can find a great option for you. I'm looking around my house now, just thinking of like things that you can use for the different types of equipment that we have at the gym, like box jumps. You could jump upstairs, like maybe if you have a couple steps outside, or maybe even the sidewalk near your house, like jumping up from the street onto the sidewalk. Sure, it's not 20 inches or 18 inches or whatever you're used to using at the gym, but it's better than nothing, right? I see I have a mantle here at my fireplace. I could use that for box step-ups if I want to do step-ups instead, putting a weight on my shoulders. Try to find ways that you can just get creative and do different types of workouts. If you do incline push-ups, you can do incline push-ups on some steps to still get that incline and help you work on them. As well as just continuing to use this opportunity to maybe do some extra recovery type of things. So stretching, resting more. Hopefully some of you guys might be sleeping more because you don't have to worry about your daily commute to and from work. That gives you a little bit more time to maybe sleep in. So take advantage of that. Make sure you're not using this as an opportunity to get lazy about your diets. You can still continue to prep the meals to the best of your ability if you were meal prepping in the past. I like to spend just a couple hours, maybe 2 hours on the weekend, making a bunch of roasted vegetables, and I usually make like chicken or ground beef, super simple to make, and then all I have to do is microwave it or throw it in the air fryer, and there's my meal in just like 5 minutes. Instead of eating chips and ordering out all the time, save yourself some money and save yourself some time just by doing a little bit of the meal prep. And then most importantly, try to spend some time stretching and recovering your body. So if you're continuing to work out 3 on, 1 off, 3 days on, 1 day off, or maybe you're working out every other day, or maybe you're working out every day, make sure you're finding that opportunity for maybe like 5 minutes of yoga or 5 minutes of stretching, or just a moment of meditation, just so you can kind of gather your thoughts and be grateful to be alive and well in the position that we're in. So before I end it, I just wanted to do a nice little stretch to get you cooled down from all that activity we did. Hamstrings are probably feeling it a little bit on those snatches. So go ahead and stretch the hamstrings a little bit. Legs are straight here. Whether you're here reaching as much as you can, feeling that stretch in your hamstrings, or you're all the way forward touching your toes, I want you to do what you can to feel that stretch in the backs of your legs, your hamstrings. Think about keeping the chest upright and bringing the chest towards the feet. So instead of rounding our heads down like this, we're going to think about hinging forward at the hips while keeping this aligned and straight. Hold this here for a few seconds. And then with all that running, our quads are probably feeling it, especially if we did some uphill. You might feel it a little bit in the calves between the uphill running and the jump ropes. So we'll go ahead and get the quads really quick. Bring that foot back towards your butt, and then we'll lean back, get that quad stretched. If you can lean back as far as you can without impeding your hip. So you want your hip to be tucked under, pulling on the quad. So maintain that hip tucked under without your back kind of jamming into that hip. And then we'll go ahead and switch. So a lot of us might think that we're super flexible because we can lean our bodies all the way back. But if your knee is coming off of the ground, you're not getting a good stretch. So I want to make sure you're keeping that knee off the ground, stretching your quad. So even if you're only going to here, that's fine. You're still getting a really good quad stretch, overcoming all the way back here. That's not doing anything for you. All right, let's get those calves, and then we'll finish up here. So come to that down dog position. We'll take our right foot on top of that left ankle. Press that heel down to the ground, and then we'll switch. So left foot over the right ankle, press that heel down to the ground. All right, awesome work, guys. You are all set for the day, ready to go. Hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Hopefully you've been enjoying these videos. And shoot me a message on Facebook. Let me know how it was for you. If there was anything that you felt particularly good or bad about today, I would love to hear from you. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.